So a couple weeks ago, I thought to myself, man, I don't shoot black and white at all. And I don't really know how to go about making a really good black and white image. So I started learning, researching, and looking at what makes a good black and white image. And then I just kind of started experimenting. So this is the image that I came up with. And I was like, you know what? This is actually a fun process, figuring out how to light things, how to edit it. It's like, I might as well walk you through it and let's recreate that image today. So yeah, I'm gonna just get things set up and kind of explain to you as I'm going. This isn't like a tutorial, like this is how you edit or this is how you create black and white photos. It's just kind of how I've just started to learn and how I've been approaching black and white images. Because you can take a photo and just switch it to black and white in post, and that's what I'll end up doing. But if you don't understand or approach like your lighting and things and how to like really make a black and white image that stands out, then it can be lacking sometimes. So we're gonna use the light and we're gonna kind of make it all good, and like I'm wearing the black hoodie on purpose. And yeah, I'll explain kind of what I'm doing as we get set up here. So what I want to do is I want to set this light up so it just is a top-down kind of, I guess more of a spotlight feel. Kind of like that. It doesn't really matter where it is in the frame right now because I'm going to end up cropping it. So let's see how that looks. So my goal here is when I look up into the light, I want to create harsh shadows right where the light kind of gets cut off by like my cheekbone and my jaw here. And that's why I want to wear the dark hoodie, because I only want to light up certain parts of my face. So that really helps with black and white, is when you have a distinct difference between your darks and your lights. I'm gonna shoot at 35. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Shoot it about there. I want a little more room above my head, just in case. See what we do with it in crop. Just give myself lots of options. And it's okay to have this in your frame, so I'm gonna crop it to like here. So this should be just out of frame. So yeah, I'm just gonna snap a quick photo. Okay, so I got a couple different poses. So now I'm just gonna bring them into the computer and we'll start editing them. Okay, so now we're in Lightroom and I really like this image here. So first thing we do, obviously, is we're gonna go to black and white under basic. And there we go. We're in black and white. Now, like I said before, because I wanted all these highlights to really make these certain parts of my face stand out and then these darks, I wanna make that difference much greater. But first what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crop the image because I don't want that I don't want my softbox in it. So that's pretty good, and then it gets the bed out and all that stuff. Crop in, there. So that's not too bad. And now what I want to do first is, before I start really playing with like the blacks and the highlights, I want to create a vignette around me. But the way I like to do that is I go to linear gradients here, and I just pull in like this, and I'll do this on each side. And let's see, I'm gonna be very, like, let's make it like really dark. Let's go pretty intense. And this one I'll spread, I won't make the feather quite as intense. That's too much up top, I think. But let's get another one here. And it doesn't have to be so intense, because we will be able to manipulate that with the rest of the settings in here. This is kind of where I want to get to a certain point. And that adds, like, I don't really like that glow, but let's just see what we can do with it. And it's okay if it like bleeds onto me a little bit too. That's totally fine. I think I'm gonna feather this out a little bit more too. But this one I'm gonna pull up a bit. This one, I'm gonna do the same, bring it in. That's a little better. And to have the little bit of this haloing effect is okay. I just don't want it to be so pronounced and stuff. And I might take this right side, actually, which one is this here? I might take this one and lighten it up a little bit. This hard edge right here that's made from the corner of my room, I do not want to see that. That's the main thing. So I might just go like this. Bring it down just a tad. That's pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the curves first of all. I'm just gonna go into the point curve first. I'm gonna make very slight adjustment like this. And I struggle with deciding if I like really clean blacks or if I like a more faded black. So like as soon as you start fading it up like this, I find it looks good, but it's really easy to take it too far. I think because that just, I mean, it kind of looks like good, but in my opinion, it doesn't. It's very stylistic, which is a little bit more than what I want. So I'm gonna tone it back quite a bit. I might bring my blacks down just a little bit more. And right there, we actually have a really good point. Like, I like this. I'm actually gonna leave my highlights here in the tone curve for now. I'm gonna go to here, the parametric curve, and I'm going to bring up, I like that. You can come in here and it mutes your skin. It can look pretty good, but I want it to be a little bit brighter. Like we said, we're going for that really big difference in the highlights and the white. So that looks pretty good actually. And that is let's just pretend I never did that. What are my shadows looking like here? What if I go opposite shadow or darks and shadow combo? That looks really good actually. And like I'm okay, like right here we're clipping, so we're gonna start losing details in our blacks, but that's not a big deal with black and white because, like I said before, we purposefully lit my face to bring attention to my face. So the things that we don't want to bring attention to, we can lose. Like, and because it's not highlight clipping, it's not as intense. So as we're starting to lose information in these deep shadows, I'm okay with that. I'm going to add a slight curve to the colors as well. Very subtle. I don't want to go too crazy on this. I'll just copy and paste this to the different channels here. There we go. And one thing too is if you go like this, there we go. So if you go like this, obviously the image looks garbage. You can see up here in the histogram when color starts to come back in your image. And some people are really good at making colored black and white, so they have slight color to like the shadows and highlights. That's not really what I'm going for right now. I want a pure black and white image, so just make sure if you want the same thing to keep an eye on your histogram up top here, so you know you're always true black and white. There'll be no colors. So this is actually looking really good. Let's look at the before and after. I wish you could see, I don't know how to see the before and after of like just the black and white. Let's see the curves. Okay. So just because we haven't done any adjusting up here in like the normal sliders, like exposure, we can see all the adjustments we've made minus the our gradients that we did, and I want that to turn off. So yeah, it's looking really good. The whites I really like the whites like that. Like right here, they're obviously nice, but I love it when they're a little bit more punchy. Now I'm just gonna go, because we have a lot of contrast already, I'm just gonna bring down some of it. I'm gonna bring it down by 10. So that's looking really good. I'm not gonna do too much in here. I think that's pretty good. But right here, the texture clarity dehaze sliders can actually do quite a bit to your image. I'll just like, you can, obviously the texture does everything. So I'm gonna bring the texture down just because I have quite a bit of like bumps along my skin, and that'll smooth it out. Clarity, I'm always bumping back clarity because we don't want this look. Look, it really accentuates every little imperfection in the skin and stuff. And I'll just max it out here. You can see how it makes the eyes look really nice, but overall, not a big fan, so I'm gonna bring that down. You can see that makes a huge difference. Like, it's super dramatic. dehaze will almost, like, you could get this halo look, like old school headshot look. Not about it. We're gonna go back to normal. We're actually gonna just get rid of that. Okay, so because this image doesn't have much color, there's not much we're gonna be able to do with these sliders. Obviously, if we go before, okay, the walls behind me are yellow and my skin tone is yellow. So what we can do is go back and we can mess with this. So this can get rid of the halo. That's actually good. I didn't think that was gonna help at all, but we'll get rid of the halo even more. Now, the orange, this is our skin tones. Our skin tones lay in the oranges. I'm just gonna leave that. That's okay how it is. Lips and eyes. I just leave it how it is. We're not adding any color to it, which you can do. Now, one thing I'm always like super debating to do is, like, I love a really clean black and white image, but then sometimes I love a super grainy black and white image. They just look good. So I think I'm gonna add grain to this one, and I'm just gonna go pretty heavy. I'll bring down the size of it and the roughness. And there, that's really good. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my blacks. I want to bring in a little more character without fading them, but I think that's the only option I have right now. So you see how that changes the, like, look of it? I always do that. You see how when you turn it on, it's almost as if everything disappears but my face at first. Like, if you really focus, you turn it off and, like, it's really cool. And that's what I wanted to go for. Like, the power of black and white. Like, yeah, you can take a photo on a beach or whatever, turn it black and white, it'll look good. But if you're purposeful about your black and white stuff, I think it can look really good. And that's why I'm excited to learn more about it. So I think this looks really good. I might actually bring my blacks just up a tad. Let's see what this is. Yeah, that's still really good. We still have really good darks. Like I love like a dark, like some people like a more white-based black and white image with black in it, and some people like a black-based black and white image. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I love a much darker image. Like, having the black background with your face lit up being pulled from the background, to me, just looks so good. Yeah, that's really good. And see how the grain just adds some really nice texture. It makes the photo feel a little more tangible, like you're not looking at it over a computer. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. I think I'm gonna leave it. Maybe, let's see how I wanna see how my skin's looking. I might actually just leave it. It looks pretty good. I was gonna just brighten certain spots up. I actually might bring my eyes up a little bit. I'm gonna make it very, very subtle. Because if you go crazy on this, you just get an alien eyes. So let's bring up the exposure a tad bit. Yeah, that's a little better. I kind of want to bring it up so it more matches my cheeks here. So I'm just focusing on my eyes because obviously it's turning all of our masks on and off. Just look at my eyes. So that brings them out quite a bit. I like that. That's good. And to be completely honest with you, I think that's my image. It looks really solid. I'm actually gonna mess with the highlights a little bit because from a distance when you're not zoomed in, they look like they're trying to clip a little bit. Maybe I'll bring them down just a tad. You know what? I think I'm very happy with that, and I think that's my image. Don't have to do too much to black and white to make it look really good. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Just me learning how to do really good black and whites since I never do them, and I might as well try to learn how to do them. Yeah, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.